I've made a lot of references to what you could have learned if you watched the invasion of Ukraine unfold from day one and watched on the ground exactly how the invading covert Russian army treated the indigenous population, treated the indigenous government. They did what is the quintessential KGB pattern of accusing your enemy exactly what you are guilty of what the KGB is guilty of. And while this seemed familiar to me from, just like my distant memories, I didn't have it in mind as a recently learned part of history that this was a KGB pattern. But as I watched the Crimea invasion unfold, what I realized is that these people were going in there and accusing the local government of exactly what they were guilty of, accusing the local people of exactly what they were guilty of. And I saw over and over again the separatist movement accuse Kiev of exactly what they were guilty of. From breaking the ceasefire, to using sulfur, to shooting down MH17. And I see it in Syria. The past few days you've seen Russia making accusations that the rebels have been using chemical weapons. A bunch of civilians trapped in a city using chemical weapons against the poor, defenseless Assad Air Force? No, there are reports that there are planes dropping barrel bombs and yellow gases, just slaughtering people by the thousands, okay? And that's what this accuser that has stolen office has also done. He has accused everything that he is guilty of, from his conflicts of interest to his trusts, to his sexual indiscretions. And man, the KGB pattern could not be more clear. I don't know how, as a country, we're letting this happen. Everything they're telling you. The buyer's remorse in the polls that came out today are just absolute. It's just absolute amazing. Just the bullshit that people are having to feed you to cover up the obvious buyer's remorse. Hillary Clinton still has higher approval ratings than Donald Trump. You want to know why? Because she won the fucking election. Okay, I hope I don't run out of SD space. I'm asking for fair use from Mr. Conan O'Brien for the very crucial commentary on what these guys are looking at each other right now. Basically saying, should we tell them? Because they themselves used to actually unwittingly promote the atheistic left-wing side of KGB propaganda until in their old age they just, saw the hypocrisy on both sides. But that's their right. It's fucking, it's Monty Python, for fuck's sake. But you see this look right here. They're giving it to each other as they discuss, how Vladimir Putin got elected and his cabinet. Trump. Same thing. But you'll get the point. So this is where they just look at each other like, should we tell them?
Just give him a few more hours.
Yes. And the nice thing is he's got Putin to advise him. Right? Because he uses the old KGB. Putin, after all, he's probably a very nice chap, kind to his children and all that kind of thing. But he was head of the KGB.
Yes, yeah.
One of the most fearsome, intelligence units of all time. And the KGB had a very, very simple principle. I don't know if you know this. It was accuse the opposition of exactly what you're doing yourself.
Right.
And I thought that that was what Trump was doing.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
And as a result, Putin has got the president that he wants.
Right. We'll find out.
And on that bombshell, it's time for me to say, I told you so. This entire troll army, this whole troll army that works for Donald Trump, this whole Breitbart news organization, all these people, this is the empire of media, okay? These are the people that run Russia by enslaving the Slavic people, enslaving the Mongolian people, enslaving the Plains people, enslaving the Ukrainians, enslaving the Uzbekistans, the Tajikistans, the Tatars. These are the enslavers, okay? Stop sticking up for them. Stop letting them take over our country. The pattern is clear. What has happened is clear. Stop living in denial. Because if you think being in denial will protect you, you are sorely mistaken.